Hello everyone, my name is Morgan Lee. Today we will discuss the electric vehicle wireless charging. Sometimes we call the WPT, stand for wireless power transfer. And we will introduce some of the test environment, test requirement based on the SAE standard, and also will showcase some of our Chroma test equipment to accommodate this WPT testing. Let's get started. There are currently three types of wireless charging system we see on the picture. On the left side, it's the residential type, and that is showing like you have a car parking in your garage, and the charging pad will automatically charge the vehicle. Second one will be similar like when you park on the commercial parking space, and they have a charging pad on the ground, and you will pay and to get a vehicle charged. The third one will be more like a more advanced type of charging. It's like dynamically charging the vehicle while you're driving on the freeway. This is to give you an overview about a functional block diagram of wireless charging system for EV. From your power station, your utility power, provide power into the ground assembly, convert the power from the AC to DC and DC to AC, and charging on your coil, your transmitter, and transmitting the induction power into the receiving coil, and from there that's into your vehicle assembly, and rectify the AC power into the DC to charging on to your battery. There are also many of the communication module shows here to achieve all of your complete charging process. And overall, we would like to see the system efficiency will be greater than 85%. And we will see this on the next slide. This is show the same kind of a process from your utility line charging on your coil to the AC to DC, DC to AC, and from here and going to your rectifier charging on your battery. So you can see this efficiency from 98% to 97% onto the coil to the rectifier 95%. So the overall is greater than 95%, as you can see on the picture. This shows the new way of a battery from your EV and going through your wireless charging and charging back to your utility line to kind of sell back with your vehicle energy back to the grid, the so-called EV to the grid application. To kind of reverse what the charging from grid and to the battery, and reverse from battery back to the grid. This will show you the WPT test system configuration. Talk about the GA ground assembly and the VA vehicle assembly. So this is kind of give you an overview what kind of test system will we constructing here to give you an overall test system with the software to operate your WPT test. Now we're going to talk about this SAE test standard J2954 for wireless power transfer. And we touch on this test environment and define the test requirements and also some special test items that the Chroma had designed some test feature and accommodate some of our test instrumentation to comply with this test standard. So let's talk about a test environment for the WPT. And in SAE J2954 chapter 14.4.3, they define SYZ position device. And one area what we need to focus is the The GA shall be supported by a 200 millimeter non-conductive support above the position device for this SYZ table. So you can see the Chroma has this SYZ table built specific for the WPT testing. So currently there are several WPT power class from WPT1 to WPT5. Describe what's the input power, frequency range, and target efficiency, coupling coefficient, and the GA and VA clearance, and also the offset direction, the X versus Y. Yeah, in SAEJ 2954, chapter 14.8.5, define your rotation tolerance for your roll and pitch and yaw. You can see the angle range here for like a -4 to 4, -2 to 2, and -15 to 15. And they have a table on the right to show you how you can comply to this type of requirement or recommendation. So our Chroma table have a way to comply all this type of 3-axis test angle range, and this one can be adjusted manually. And the newest type of our WPT test SYZ table is capable to do this kind of adjustment automatically. For SAEJ 2954, chapter 9.1.7, that the test requirement define the component level of a wireless charging system should be tested to the voltage dips, short interruptions, and the voltage variation immunity to comply with EN 55014-2 and the IEC 61000-4-11. So you can see the table kind of lists what type of requirement, what it lists in the essay paper. And we can use the AC source to simulate the conditions. This shows you the testing requirement for harmonic distortion immunity. It's in the SAEJ 2954, chapter 9.1.5 to meet the requirement on the EN 6204-1. The same thing, we can use the AC source to simulate the condition to meet the requirement. Now we talk about the special test items for the object detection and to detect like a temperature rise testing. It's like to detect like a falling object in between your VA and GA for a certain temperature rise. In order to meet the requirement for these special test items for the foreign object detection, Chroma had to build this special test feature along with the infrared thermal detection equipment. We can detect the foreign object for a certain temperature rise in between your GA and VA. And this shows you a thermal image picture while you're running your wireless charging for temperature monitoring. And then we have a way to detect the temperature is below 55 degrees C plus the foreign object detection test. Chroma had many support vendors for our WPT testing. One of the company where we work with for using their fiber optic thermometers to connect to our test equipment to measure the surface temperature during testing. Now we move on to the schematic field and the misalignment coefficient testing. we work with the hierarchy equipment and NADA to accommodate for our test environment, and you can use the equipment controlled by our software for your magnetic field testing. It's going to show you the detail for testing the coil of the magnetic field and for the misalignment coefficient calibration. And you can see we have a 3 axis to measure for the magnetic field. This is show you the complete WPT function block diagram. We focus on this transmitting and receiving coil testing for this coil efficient and misalignment coefficient. So we work with several companies for power analyzing, analysis instrumentation. So they give you this kind of overall power, high frequency power transmission measurement. So you can use our software to control those instrumentation. This slide gives you the complete list about the test items, what the Chroma can offer using our Chroma test equipment, along with some calibration tool from the third-party company. So we can make so many test items to complete your WPT testing. Now, I would like to showcase our Chroma equipment in order to accommodate your WPT test and what Chroma can offer from your grip simulation side all the way to your battery simulation, including the DC load and the bidirectional DC power supply, along with your coil testing, what the Chroma offer for the 3-axis or 6-axis, plus all the test feature to complete your WPT testing. Start with the grid simulation. Chroma have the AC grid simulator plus the AC source to simulate your grid power from single phase to 3 phase. As I mentioned, Chroma had an AC source and grid simulator to generate an AC waveform and to accommodate for all of AC source testing requirement to simulate your grid power, and that will kind of validate your input frequency ramp and also generate some harmonic distortion type of thing. For the AC to DC converter, Chroma offered a DC source and also the bidirectional DC power supply to output your DC current. So we have a 62,000H, which is the DC source, and also have a 62,000D. That's the newest product to offer a bidirectional DC power and up to the 12,000 volt, 18 kilowatt under the 3U height of the single unit. For the battery simulation, Chroma offered a DC source and DC load as a combination. Plus, Chroma had an excellent battery cycler or simulator to simulate your battery performance. As you can see, the 63200A at Chroma DC load, and along with the DC source, you can create your battery simulation pack. And also we offer the 17040 to complete your battery simulation function. That's what it's so-called a battery simulator. Now we're going to offer the Chroma solution for this test equipment, or this XYZ table plus the test fixture to test your charging coil. As seen on the previous slide, Chroma provides XYZ position device for WPT testing platform. There are the 3 axes. For the Z-axis can move up to 200 millimeter, and XY axis from 0 to plus minus 150 meter, and the payload is less than 100 kilogram. And the accuracy can reach to the 1 millimeter. This is the latest XYZ position device from Chroma with a 6-axis degree of freedom. With the Z-axis, it's still 200 millimeter, but XY axis distance can reach up to plus minus 200 millimeter too. And the payload is less than 200 kilogram, but it's 100 kilogram more than the previous model. And the moving accuracy is less than 0.1 millimeter. This slide gives you the spec of our 6-axis degree of freedom of a XYZ table, and they have a pitch and roll and yaw and X and Y and Z. That's what we call so-called a 6 degree of freedom. That will meet the standard on SAE 2954 or GBT, which is a required test in China. This will give you an overall 3 models spec. It shows that we have a 3-axis up to 6-axis for this XYZ table or XYZ position device. So payload can go all the way up to 200 kilogram. In addition to the XYZ position device, often the customer needs some sort of like a platform to place their transmitting and receiving charging coil. So we Chroma build this kind of the VA placement to place your vehicle assembly and carry up to some payload and up to 50 kilogram for your charging coil. So this is a platform. It can be customized to accommodate what the customer special dimension requirement. In addition, like what I mentioned, this is a foreign object detection. We also have this kind of a test feature being built for detecting the kind of foreign object. Also, Chroma has a specialized software to help the customer can customize their test requirement along with other SAE 2954 to complete your WPT testing. This specialized Chroma software A800071 is designed to command this WPT XYZ table to move the very fine positioning to calibrate your WPT charging coil. So this software is capable to move our XYZ table and also positioning the particular location to generate the 2D or 3D chart and to show you what's your calibration points for your WPT charging. So it's kind of convenient for the customer to completely visualize this each point, how you calibrate your WPT charging magnet type of thing. So this is like show you the overall picture about this VA platform, the vehicle assembly platform, along with your GA XYZ 3-axis or 6-axis of a degree of freedom, a complete picture for your WPT test. So here's some real example shows the using our XYZ position device along with our test equipment to complete the WPT testing, and that's located in the test lab. So this is like to illustrate the vehicle with the WPT test feature to test this wireless charging. You can see that the Chroma also designed this center alignment jig to align your WPT to perfect install to our XYZ positioning device. So this is pretty much the end of my presentation. As you can see, the Chroma have provided all of the EV-related test solution from your battery testing to your EVSE charging. So feel free to let us know if you have any EV testing related program and would like to find some turnkey solution from Chroma. Feel free to contact our sales team. Okay, this will be the end of my presentation today. Thanks for joining me for this series of EVSE and WPT webinars. If you have any question, like I said, please feel free to contact our sales team, and they were more than happy to assist you for any information, what you need. And also, there's a website on the left lower corner here. Please visit our website and leave a message. We will respond to you as soon as we can. Thank you and enjoy your day.